Welcome back, podcasters. What's up? My name is Jackson from a casual NBA podcast here on YouTube and other streaming services. And today we'll start with our little player guessing game that we've been doing. And then after that, we're going to go into the biggest overreactions for the first few games of the NBA. So this player averaged 5.6 points. And this is last year's stats. Teams and everything will be last year's. We can just keep it simple like that. And he had 2.9 assists and 3.6 rebounds.
Oh.
So he's a bum.
Sure.
He does a lot of assists and rebounds for like 5 points, I feel like.
Yeah, he does a lot of
You know,
stuff.
like if you
It
were
just
a
doesn't seem
bum-
like he plays.
67
Yeah.
games played. 24
It seems like
minutes.
he's just like a glue guy, maybe
Dang.
off the bench.
3 assists though. That's a lot of assists for someone who doesn't do a lot.
It's
He
got to be a
started 36
backup point guard.
games.
He
I-
started 36. Oh,
I will guess Corey Joseph.
No.
I will guess Matisse Thybulle.
No.
Oh, yeah, he does not average 3 assists. There's TJ McConnell I'm gonna go with him, but he averaged more points than that, right?
It's not TJ McConnell.
Okay.
So you guys have any questions you want to ask?
What conference?
East.
East.
Position?
I'll just say he's a guard.
Hmm.
Say like a combo guard.
'Kay.
What'd you say?
I said okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tough.
It is until you know who it is.
Is it Max Strus?
No. I think he averaged more points anyway. I give you
What?
shooting splits and everything.
Yeah, what's the shooting splits?
So he shot 80.8% from the free throw line. He
Oh,
shot
that helps.
36% from three and 45% field goal.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That throws Johnny Davis out the window.
No, this is a real NBA player.
Dang. I have no clue. Because it's gotta be a backup like 2-3.
I said it was a
Do I have to
guard.
wait for my next guess for those two to guess?
No.
No, you can guess whenever.
Killian Hayes.
No.
Nah, Killian Hayes better than that. And the
I don't
efficiencies would be a
know.
lot worse.
I don't think you should think about the points because this guy, I feel like he's better than what his stats say.
Monte Morris.
No, he's worse than what the stats say. You want
Uh,
something else?
Give me a division.
That won't give it away. But Central Division,
Oh,
maybe not.
Cody is dumbfounded.
Um,
what?
Ooh. Javon Carter.
No. Is he a guard?
Pretty
oh,
sure.
is it Alex Caruso?
Yeah.
Yes.
See what I mean? Like better than what his
Yeah.
stats say. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he is a lot better than those stats.
because that's how I picked him because he hit that game winner the other day, and then he has 5 points.
I didn't know he only averaged 5 points.
He's a clamper.
Yeah, jeez.
He don't really do. He really only takes like 2 or 3 shots a game usually.
So Tucker has 1 point, Peyton has 1 point, Cody is Neil.
Let's go.
So does anyone have any like big overreactions they want to say first? So we can just kind of go around.
Other than the Pacers are winning it all.
I don't think that's
Y'all
an
are averaging the
overreaction.
most points per game of any team.
Also, the Blazers are not winning a game.
Oh my God. No, this isn't even an overreaction. Chauncey Billups needs to go.
He really does. It's like it's hard to watch. Like I tried to
It's-
watch that Blazers Clippers game and I'm pretty sure I got a migraine from it.
It's too bad because a lot of people are attacking Scoot right now, and he has played bad, but part of his game is passing and like driving and kicking it out, but nobody's moving. There's no off-ball actions to like get anyone open. Like, what's he supposed to do?
He's also 19. It might take a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so what is DeAndre Ayton doing?
Being mid.
Okay.
Because he was like
so
he was yapping it up before the season started about how he
So,
brings dominance.
I'm
He had
blaming
more
this on
fouls than
Billups,
points.
we don't run any actions for him. Like, I think we've posted him up twice in 3 games.
Hey, neither did the
Most of his
Suns, but he
points are
averaged
offensive
what,
rebounds.
13 points on the Suns, like 18. He's averaging like 4.
And he's averaging, I think, 8 right now. He's averaging 8 points, 12 rebounds on 60% shooting. But because he just gets 0 boards and puts it back up right now. We don't give him the ball because Jeremy Grant gets the ball. Like,
He's not been good either.
Oh.
no, it literally anytime Jeremy Grant gets the ball or Malcolm Brogdon gets the ball, the ball stops here.
So you know that you've had the Malcolm experience. That's why we wanted to get rid of him. We're like Aaron Newsmith, let's go. Also, most
Yeah,
improved.
Won that trade.
Malcolm's efficient. It's just he kind of dribbles the air out of the ball sometimes. Like, he doesn't
Yep.
move it.
Malcolm mode.
That's one of my overreactions for the Pacers. Aaron
You
Neesmith
guys
being
are
the
looking
most
real
improved. Because he only averaged like 9 points last year. Like, I think he could shoot up there a little bit.
We say we're looking good, and now we're just gonna lose to the Bulls tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna lose to the
What's
Bulls
up
later.
with,
For anyone watching this, we're recording this on Monday, so
What's up with Jarris Walker?
He's raw, and we're a good team.
he only takes terrible floaters when he's in the game. He does not have any other shot that he takes.
And we have
I
better
think-
people above him.
I think
Offensively.
he'll probably get run this season when we need size at the 4 and like defensively.
We
If
haven't
we're
yet.
having a tough time guarding a 4 and need a little bit of size. Because he does not really bring anything to, I mean, he does bring some stuff to the offense, but not in a scoring sense. He's more of a Draymond Green type of offensive
Yeah.
player. So like, and Tyrese is the one that has the ball in his hands. So, and we literally have 3 good point guards on the roster. So,
All get minutes.
so right now,
Look at the fours we faced. We faced Kyle Kuzma. Like, that's not really needed size for that. And then we placed Gorgeous Niang. Like, not very good fours we've been playing against.
Yeah,
Maybe
but look
Patrick-
for Jarris's. Like, I'd even put Noah in front of him.
Offensively,
Rotation.
he's
You
so
might
good.
need to clamp Patrick Williams tonight, though. His 3 points per game right now.
No, he's been going wild.
you know,
Corey Craig should probably start.
Yes, he
over
should
him.
start over him.
Corey
since
Craig's a
we're
beast, though, so
since we've only gone a few games into the season, there's always some fun statistical anomalies. And right now, the player in the NBA with the highest offensive rating
Is
is
it Cam
Jalen
Thomas?
Smith.
Oh,
Yes!
Yeah!
Jalen Smith has looked so good.
He put on that weight.
He,
He's
he
gonna leave
looks
in the
big.
offseason, but
Yeah, he's got some boulder shoulders.
You
I just
know,
Like, go ahead.
I was
just
gonna.
say,
Oh, go ahead, Cody.
no, you go ahead.
No. You go ahead, because I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
change topic. to
okay.
somebody
So I
else.
think the Bulls are gonna blow it up because they had a players only meeting and they suck.
Until
Yeah,
they beat
they're
us
gonna go.
tonight.
They're gonna beat us tonight, and then they're gonna
They
fire
lost
John.
by 17 when a player scored 51. That's
Their team is in the mud.
Didn't the Pistons beat them?
Yeah, to the
Yeah.
Pistons.
Pistons are good this year. They're 2-1. They almost beat the Heat.
Tumani Kumara has not committed a
Yes.
single turnover this season.
Has he really not? I saw he has more points, rebounds, and assists than the entire second round combined.
Yeah. So he's played
He's-
66 minutes and has not committed a single turnover.
James
I
Harden's
think
a
he'll
bull.
be the steal of the draft.
Because he's been getting
He-
a lot of run, too.
I don't even know who this
He's
is.
our backup small forward, and I
I
honestly
have
think
not
he should
watched the
start over
Blazers.
Thibault. Thibault is not good.
I try to watch y'all, and then you were down like 40 as soon as I put it on. So I'm like, I'm not watching it.
Matt
It's-
Ryan has also not committed a turnover this season.
Has he played?
From Matt Ryan's been kind of.
Oh, I haven't watched the Pelicans either.
I know. I don't know if this was like every Pelicans game, but there was one box score I looked at where he got the most minutes off the bench, and he like had a really good stat line.
Did he even play last year? Like, I
Yeah, he
remember
was on
him
the
against, what,
Lakers.
the-
He had a game winner.
that was last year?
He's only
Yeah,
been in the
it
league
feels
one year.
like decades ago, but
That was pre-Westbrook. Blow it up.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan, obviously only 2 games, small sample size, averaging 6 points on 20 minutes a game, shooting 29% from three. So not
Paul
great,
George.
but
I want to talk about Paul George. He's back.
Paul George has looked good.
He's gonna have an
He
All
has-
NBA season.
The Clippers' overall defense has looked good. Like,
5
they-
steals in that first quarter. That's crazy. That's like TJ McConnell type beat.
TJ better though.
Better at steals, yeah.
Do you guys have Tyrese Maxey as your most improved front runner?
Nope.
I do.
Who do you have?
Cam Thomas.
I also
He
keep
has
it
been
up.
cooking.
I also
My
think
boy's averaging like
Jalen
30.
Jalen Johnson could be,
Yes.
or
I
as
agree
of
with
right
that.
now, would also be in the conversation.
It's just tricky with players like that because since he's a second-year player, they really don't like to give it to him.
This is his third year.
Yeah.
This is his third year.
He didn't
Yeah.
play his first year really.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little biased, but I still have Shaden Sharp as a dark horse because he's gotten better every game, and he's the only bright spot on my team. That's sad.
It all depends though, because if someone like some bum takes a team to win a lot of games, on like say the Wizards are really good, like better than they expected, not the worst team in the league, and they're like what the Jazz did last year, they're gonna win it, like Kyle Kuzma or Jordan Poole. But I think Maxey is really good.
He
I think
absolutely cooked
Maxey
us last
definitely-
night.
He definitely has a shot. I honestly feel like if Cam Thomas can keep up what he's doing though, which I don't really expect him to, then he probably should win it over Maxey. Just
They have
because
a
Maxey was
great
a
lineup
20 point
around
per
him.
game scorer last year.
Maxey is the narrative though. That's really important. Because like James Harden's out, he's stepping up and they're winning games.
Would you get rid of Harden just to try and make sure you don't mess up Maxey's rhythm? Because like if Harden comes back,
Just don't play him. Send him to the Bulls. Go get like DeRozan.
the Bulls did that. Oh my god.
They're both free agents. Neither of them are wanting to sign an extension. Like I don't think it's a terrible idea.
I think it's like one of those 2K trades where you just click trade finder and you're like, why not?
That's kind of what those teams need at this point. The Bulls suck.
No, they need to just blow it up. Not the Sixers, just the Bulls. The Sixers just need to get back like one or two role players.
I think
and
DeMar would be
they're
good on the
good.
Sixers.
I don't know. I feel like he'd take away from Maxey and Embiid too much. He'd want the ball in his hands more.
I don't know. He played in San Antonio pretty well, playing off ball.
Weren't they like a 10 seed?
They had nobody. I'm just saying the Bulls need him to have the ball in his hands. They suck.
I do think DeMar would fit, but I like the role player route a little bit more.
They
They
have
could get,
depth
like, a-
though.
I might look for like a solid starter, like that sort of.
Just like
Great
a
man.
decent starting
What
point
about
guard.
Caruso? What do you think that they would give up Caruso for Harden?
Ugh,
You'd have to throw more in.
I don't know about it.
Their defense would be like ass without her though.
Isn't
I
it
think it already
crazy that this
is.
is where James Harden's at? We're like, would they give up Alex Caruso? And we're like, I don't know.
I just know the money wouldn't work.
Yeah. The money's the tricky spot there.
Who has a bad contract? Like what? Trade Rudy Gobert and have the Twin Towers and Sixers.
Oh,
That would be an experience right there.
It'd be better Cat and Gobert.
Anyways, my biggest overreaction is that the Grizzlies aren't making the playoffs.
I agree. Or the Hawks.
Hey, the Hawks
Like, I
beat
don't
the
know
Bucks.
Okay. Dame's washed.
They
and
like
look
boned
for
the Bucks too.
Giannis is a fraud. Their nickname's Fraud Time. I'm just kidding. I like that team still. My biggest overreaction is the Celtics. They're going at all.
But like the Grizzlies have looked not good at all. I think
Hmm.
I don't know if it's still like this, but when I checked the other day, they were the 30th team in the NBA standings wise.
Is Desmond
Like, I don't
playing?
think they have a win. Yeah, Desmond Bane's been the only one playing good. It's just they don't have anybody else on that
There
team that
are-
can score.
There are 4 teams in the NBA without a win. Memphis, Houston, Portland, and Brooklyn.
Yeah, Houston's like terrible. That's another overreaction. Like, I think it might be another. Like, I think they might be worse than last year, dog.
I did not like those veteran signings for them. I know that they needed to spend money, but I did not think that was smart because
If
now
they-
Amen's just sitting on the bench.
If they would have got Brooke Lopez like they were supposed to, maybe they could have been a playoff team. But
It's just rough because they have so many players that just want to shoot, and
now
not
if
a lot of
yeah.
players that just want to play make and play defense and all that.
You know,
OKC's
this-
gonna be a playoff team. That's another hot
This
take.
just made me think of Jalen Green, which made me think of there's a little reaction or the conversation of does the G League actually prepare players? Jalen Green hasn't been great. Scoot isn't nearly as ready as that they thought he was going to be. Kuminga, is starting to get minutes.
Yeah, he's just now getting run. That's interesting.
Yeah, do they need to start looking at maybe the G League's not good enough? Like it's not what they thought it was.
I don't hate Jalen Green. I think he's a fine NBA player. Dyson Daniels has been pretty good. He came from the G League.
I think with the G League, it's just that people expect too much of it
Yes.
because like now, I mean, if you're going like I personally am always one for players going to college and getting that experience of playing all sorts of different styles of teams and dealing with different coachings and stuff like that. But also like if you're, like if you're saving yourself from playing in the Big Ten where you're gonna get beat up every single game you play, then maybe it's a good decision to go. But like, don't expect to walk in. Like, there aren't many college players that walk into the NBA game ready day one. So like, I think people just expect too much out of the G League, maybe. The expectations are just a little high for when you think about it. There's a reason those players that they're playing aren't in the NBA. They're
Either
just not
old or
good
bad or
enough. Yeah, or yeah, they're old or not good enough. Like I think we maybe just need to manage our expectations of G League players a little better.
Well, and I feel like the G League has a whole different culture to college ball too. Because in
Yeah.
college ball, they like really preach that it's a team game. The coach
Yeah.
is like the one in charge. But I'd imagine in the G League, it's more similar to the NBA, where the coach is kind of just like a figurehead, and mostly the players can just kind of figure it out with the coach guiding them in the right direction.
And I feel like a lot of younger players need that direction, even if it's not in basketball, just in life, you know.
that's why I like our team because I feel like Rick still has that like credibility on our team. Like few coaches do in the NBA, but I feel like everyone looks up to Rick and he like has the locker room, quote unquote.
He did a good job of getting the young guys like to respect him. Some coaches don't handle that properly.
Well, like everyone that had the reports about having problems with the coaches, like Vic and Malcolm and all them, they're gone. Like Rick is like, let's
Malcolm's
trade
gonna
them.
have a problem with his current coach.
They're playing them. That's more than other teams.
Malcolm and so Chauncey's issue is he's friends with the players, and him and Malcolm have been friends for a little while. So that's what I don't think he'll complain. I think he could ask out because I don't think he expects us to be this bad. But
The Spurs. Let's talk about the Spurs.
They've looked good.
They look good, but they're not there yet. They're missing something. I
They
really
need-
like the team, but it's
they
like
need a true floor general.
a Lonzo
I-
Ball type player.
I enjoy the Jeremy Sohan experiment, but he's gonna need a lot more time at the one if he really wants to be a one. And I don't know that long term that's gonna be the move. But I don't really think that they think that.
Yeah, I think it's more of a they want to play Zach Collins to help Wemby down low, but Sochan is good enough to start.
You
So
know,
they're
who
like,
I'd
yeah.
like on their team, which the Kings will never give them up, but I think like a Davion Mitchell or someone like that could be a great like point guard for that team.
I mean, Trey Mann's a really good point guard for him. It's just
Jones.
Yeah,
there,
Trey
yeah,
Jones.
Jones. Sorry,
I just
but
meant like
I like what they're doing because they're basically just starting their five best players and saying, like, all right, figure it out.
Yeah, they know they're not competing for any kind of championship or maybe not even playoffs, low end playoffs this year. So like they can afford to take a year or two to just be like, let's just do some stuff and see what works.
Beat the Rockets though.
They
Because even if
also,
Jeremy Sohan does go back to being like a 3-4, these reps with him on ball are going to help him in the long term.
right,
Mm-hmm.
because like I they're not gonna. I don't know that they'll be a 500 team. Maybe they will. Like I said, it's still very early. You can't really make. They generally say about 20 games before you start making too much assumptions. But they played a good team in the Clippers and lost by 40. So like
Yeah.
it's I think they need to figure out. They like I said, they're just kind of figuring out some things, trying to figure out what they have, what they need still, and what works with Wimby.
Because I feel like they're definitely going to catch some teams off guard this season, maybe get some wins that they probably shouldn't. But I think it'd be a stretch to say that they're going to make the play in or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I
Have you seen the idea that they do end up getting a top pick and they get to select Alex Sarr this year and have two like 7'4" dudes?
Ugh. I saw a tweet that was like, none of these upcoming prospects passed the name test. Like it looked like a 2K auto-generated class.
It'll be interesting. Because I saw somebody make a good point of before the college season started, Brandon Miller was not considered like potentially, if Wemby wasn't there, number one guy, number two. And then by the end of the season, everyone's like, oh, so maybe somebody comes out of the rough and everyone's hype on him. But yeah, I've seen some people be really high on the SAR guy because he's just a very versatile, tall center who can like shoot. So
He's not even going to be the best center in that draft class.
It's gonna be me.
Zach Edey.
Big
Zach.
man, baby.
bro, the
I
Arkansas
walked
game
past him
was so
this
sad.
morning. Me and Zach looked at each other. I had
You
glasses on.
guys had a
sunglasses.
moment.
I mean, he didn't see my eyes, but I saw his.
Were they beautiful?
Yeah, I was very cold, so I was like sprinting past him. Like, goddamn, I wasn't even at his shoulder.
Dang, you got past him with those
Yeah.
big 7-4 strides he was taking.
Oh God.
He was walking the other
Must have
way.
been putting the wheels on. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
We passed each other. But another team I want to talk about. What about the Lakers? Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go far.
I think
They haven't looked great.
I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping that the team would be able to carry in the regular season, but every game LeBron has had to like play his butt off.
Yeah, I feel
try
bad
and do
for him.
anything.
LeBron's like, I'm old. My God.
Yeah, and they've also had a tough schedule. They've Denver and the Warriors and or not the Warriors, the
Phoenix.
Kings.
Suns and then
Yeah, and then
the
the Kings.
Kings. Those are all really good teams. And like you say, I mean, that first game they were doing all right against the Nuggets, and then Anthony Davis forgot he had to play 2 halves. And I think that there's still some just getting back into the rhythm of things for them and kind of figuring out where their new pieces need to go. Like, I mean, they're running like Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood together and
Oh.
stuff
Cam
like
Reddish is
that.
playing.
Yeah,
Gabe Vincent's looked really bad.
and I mean, they haven't got Jared Vanderbilt back yet. I think he's
He-
still out with injury.
They said it's
Mhm.
gonna be at least a month or so. Like
Yeah,
he's
so
he's not coming back soon.
they
I was just bringing this up because I'm like, you know how the Lakers are. What if they're just like, hey, James Harden, he's better than what we have.
they
Well, I am
really
gonna say their biggest like weakness, in my opinion, is that they really lack a true point guard.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
LeBron's the closest thing that they have to
Yeah.
that, and they're not going to play him at point guard really, because
Oh.
like D'Lo and Gabe Vincent, those aren't really your traditional pass first point guards. They're definitely more score first bucket getters.
right, and I was just also to tag on to that a little bit. Like they just really don't have guard depth because they have D'Lo and Austin Rivers starting, and you have Gabe
Austin
Vincent
Rivers?
coming off the bench. But then like the only other guards they have on their team are Max Christie and Jalen Hood Schifino. Like, they do
I don't
not
know that those
have,
guys are gonna play.
yeah, they're really gonna have to find some depth there. I mean, I know Max Christie played a little bit last year. He got 1 minute in one game this year. So like, I don't know if he's not getting playing time now, I don't see why he would any other time, but you know,
Austin Reeves has struggled too to start the year.
yeah,
Like against the Kings, that was only a 5 point loss for the Lakers, and Austin Reeves went 1 of 12. Like, let's just say a couple of those shots go down, then you could be looking at a Lakers win.
yeah.
Did you watch the game last night, Peyton?
I did not.
It they were winning for a while. Then De'Aaron Fox rolled his ankle, went out, came back, and then like torched them. And they're like, "Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is gonna be out a few months." So, like
That's the thing.
he was winning that game.
I thought it was
Malik
weird
Monk
because I turned it on
also.
for a little
Malik
bit.
Monk
The
too.
Lakers were up big.
Malik Monk went off last night, but those two, and they played together in college. So the chemistry is great, but I don't know. And then they were taking bad shots. The ball stopper, D'Lo, all that good stuff.
You
Cam,
know who we should talk about?
Jaden Ivey, having a fast break layup and then getting rim check because he tried to tomahawk it.
No, I was gonna say the Bruce Brown replacement, Peyton Watson.
oh,
He's
He had a really
done
good
well.
game.
66% from the field, 44% from three on with 9, almost 10 points a game. That's solid. And he's a good defender. He averages 1.7 blocks per game.
Yeah, I mean, he has done exactly what the Nuggets wanted him to do. I know the last game against the Thunder, he scored 17 points, 8 of 11 shooting.
I haven't
Like, if
really
he can
gotten to
just come in
watch
and be
him.
efficient, then that's all they need him to do.
I've heard though, since he's fairly athletic and he makes the right plays, it's basically Jokic dumps it down to him and he dunks it like every time. That's what I've heard.
How's Christian Brown playing?
I mean,
I
he's
haven't
been
watched the
pretty good
Nuggets
from the
because
eye
like
test.
the
yeah,
Nuggets
he
are
hasn't
gonna win.
been able to hit, like he's not shooting well. He has not been
Yeah,
able to shoot well.
40-14 splits.
I
But
mean, just this last game, he had a 13, 7, and 7 game.
Not bad.
but
He is
also,
averaging
Diet LeBron
5 and
game.
4.
yeah, he's gonna, it's gonna take a little bit,
I saw him block LeBron. That was pretty funny. I
because
did
like
watch that
obviously
game.
he got all that play, that time in the playoffs, like in the finals and everything, but he's never really played minutes in the regular season every day. So I feel like there probably is some getting used to.
Because he played, I think, double the minutes that he did in the regular season in the finals. And I think he doubled his scoring output too.
Yeah,
So like you said, in the minutes, he was playing like, 10 minutes a game last year,
I don't know.
averaging like 4 points.
Yeah.
I know in that first broadcast, they flashed that stat. That's a interesting stat. But they're really going to need him.
What do you guys feel about Obi Toppin?
I think that he deserves to get more minutes. But for some reason, Rick just don't play him.
Because he's a cone on defense, but
That's half of the
I
game.
I
I
think
know, but he's taking out like Ben only got 18 minutes. He's going to value defense.
I think the biggest reason he hasn't been getting minutes lately is
Eyes too,
just because of how well Aaron Nesmith played
and Jalen
at
Smith.
the 4. Because you kind of has in both our games really, our bench has been some of our
Better.
best minutes. Like in
Mhm.
that Cavs game, they're the reason we won the game. And so Rick's tended to stick with the bench longer just because they're playing well.
Yeah, it's working.
I think like I said, we've only played 2 games. So Obi will get his fair share of minutes. He did airball a 3 pretty bad last game.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens though. I think if he can, I think our starters just need some time to get that chemistry and gel on the court a little bit.
Some of them are going to
we've
lose their spots.
we're
That's just
starting 3 new
how it
guys this
happens.
year. It takes time for them to all get settled in. And like Tyrese Halliburton has not looked to score the ball in the first half of either game. He's been trying to get other people going and pass the ball and everything. And, which is fine because he's gone and got his in the second half. But also, I do think it'd help if he looked for his points, looked at the basket a little more, maybe. Because I
Mhm.
think they're kind of playing him too pass. Not that he's turning it over or anything, but they're kind of like, all right, we're gonna make somebody else beat us. We're gonna stay home because Tyrese isn't gonna go up with this. We're not gonna crash, and help off the corner if we know he's probably not gonna take a shot.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, this is the Overreaction podcast, right? So everything we say, grain of salt. It's been 2 games. We could
Yeah.
come out today and Tyrese could have 12 points in the first quarter and everything I say is null. Well, I guess that kind of proves me right, but nonetheless. But yeah, I think I think Obi Toppin's minutes will come as long as he continues to play well.
I do like that he's hustling. That's not something he didn't do in New York. So like at least he's like trying to like play. Kyrie's out tonight. Grizzlies might get a win.
Rob Will's also out tonight. Sad.
Okay, what's he
For
doing? I've been
rest.
seeing clips
All
of
right.
him like hitting
No.
middies and stuff. Like he
Okay,
never
no, I want to talk about this. Portland is where good defenders go to die. Matisse Thybulle, 2-time all defense, not a good. He's been terrible on defense this year. Rob Will was better last night, and he's looked good on offense. He's hitting the middies,
like why is he
but he
taking
has made defensive mistakes. Shaden Sharp has been our best defender in the starting lineup.
that
He's
has to be a
actually looked
scheme,
good.
right?
I think it might be the scheme, but like there was a specific play where Shaden Sharp clamped Markel Fultz, and for whatever reason, Rob Will like started to move over to help, even though Markel Fultz is going nowhere, and then just turned and looked at Fultz, and then Mo Wagner just cuts and gets a wide open dunk.
You guys are tanking early.
It's
So they
I
say that defense is mostly just effort. And like Rob Will and Matisse Thybulle, they've both been on teams that were like contenders. And so coming to this team where winning's not really the goal, honestly, they're probably just slacking off and they probably don't really care.
They want to expand their game.
well,
I don't
I
think he
think Matisse
attempted a
Thybulle is going to
midi.
be benched, so
Oh well.
I'm surprised he wasn't benched to start the season, honestly.
I think it's just he's got the experience, and since we had Ant in the starting lineup, they were thinking like we can start him as just playing defense. He doesn't need to do much on offense. But I mean, have you looked at Portland's 3-point shooting percentages ever since Simons has been out?
I just know it's Portland, so I just
They're the second worst in the league. The Lakers
Dang,
are
who's
the
worse?
only
No.
Lakers.
Lakers.
Lakers are bad
Yeah.
at 3-point percentage.
So
What are we are?
I think
We're probably
Brogdon
very
and
high.
Sharp are the only ones above 35%.
Oof.
So, woohoo. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant here.
No, I like it.
It's been. I honestly think that Tumani Kamara and Jabari Walker should be our starting 3 and 4. Those two have been my favorite duo to watch together. Twice last night when we were getting whooped, they came in and immediately we went on runs where we were like outscoring them 15-3, and then Jeremy Grant came back in and we got crushed.
The
You know,
Suns
Grant's
injury
probably another
report's
one of those
proven me
players
right.
who just does not care.
I was right about the Suns.
Branching off, talking about the 3-point, I know we've already hit on the Pacers a little bit, but I will point out that the Pacers are number 1 in the NBA right now in 3-point percentage.
I thought
Oh,
so.
really?
We've been really
Not
good.
surprising
They're
based on
5th
the eye
in make
test.
or 5th in attempts, 1st in makes, 1st in 3-point percentage. The thing I worry about with taking is also we've turned the ball over the least.
We have one of the most assists also.
Which is crazy because of the pace
And-
that we play at.
And we lead the league in assists. My only worry with that is like what happens if we hit that wall and like we have one of those days where we're not hitting all the open threes. I just wonder if we'll be able to defend well enough to keep the game close and turn it into a bit of a rock fight. Like I don't know. This team's yet to be tested on a bad shooting night. So like if we have a bad shooting night, are we gonna be able to win? Like if our offense has been historic in the first 2 games, so what happens when it's not? It's kind of the
Well,
question that'll have to be answered.
Because also with this team, we've played the Wizards and the Cavs with 2 of their starters.
3.
So a
Yep.
lot of these are
Oh, yeah, 2
probably empty
playing.
numbers. But
But
even
they
a lot
are,
of our bench players who you wouldn't really expect to hit all those threes have been stroking it. Like
yeah.
Jalen Smith, he has been lights out.
Did you see what our best lineup is? So the lineup of Miles, Neesmith, Halliburton, Brown, and Nimhard has a net rating of 88. We have an offensive rating of 166.7, so best in the league, and then a defensive rating of 78, which is really good.
Honestly, that doesn't surprise me. I was thinking earlier between Obi Toppin and Ben, I could honestly see Ben losing his starting spot before Obi just because of how
Really?
good Nemhard is.
I don't know, but like Neesmith, dog.
But
Neesmith.
like the only issue is Neesmith would have to play starting power forward. And I don't know. I would trust him as the backup a lot more.
If
Can he run the
anything,
3?
well, I was gonna say if
Neesmith is
Neesmith,
a 3.
yeah, if
Yeah.
Neesmith starts, it'd probably be Bruce Brown or Ben coming off the bench.
I was thinking one of those
Could
two.
Bruce Brown go to the 2?
Yeah,
I think they. I don't know, because Nimhard's so good.
Nimhard's better as our backup point guard, though. I don't think he
I
should be
agree.
starting. I mean, he's been closing games, which is, fine. But I think it's best to let Tyrese kind of just run free. Because Nimhard's not really just a catch and shoot or a scorer or anything. Whereas Ben, when Tyrese is out doing his thing, he can just throw it to Ben, and Ben's gonna either shoot or drive and
Yeah.
look to score, not looking to make another pass. I think I like the idea of having more scoring minded people around Tyrese at least to start the game.
So I am
Mhm.
curious how he plays tonight. Because do you think Ben's gonna be mad about not playing more than 18 minutes? Like, what if he comes out? Like, he might be like really good tonight. I don't know. We just gotta see what
I
happens.
hope so. Because
Hopefully.
like TJ McConnell didn't play the first game and he played more minutes than Ben did in our
I
last game.
mean,
Ben takes
what,
stuff
do y'all play, Matt?
personal. We play the Bulls.
is
Oh, that's
Ben
fair.
gonna guard Zach LaVine?
I
He
was
almost
thinking
has to,
DeRozan.
right? He's
Yeah,
either
I
got
mean
to
him
guard
or
You guys
we
DeRozan or
could
wanna-
put a
Levine.
Bruce on Levine.
I put Bruce
Yeah.
on Levine and then I'd have
You
him
guys
on
wanna-
DeRozan.
Hear what Cash was thinking about? Zach Levine is on Cash's fantasy team.
Right.
Oh
He got Cash negative points in his first 2 games. And
yeah. No.
so he was like telling me, he's like, dude, I cannot stand him. He's got to go. And I was like, Cash, just wait. And then he dropped 51.
Yeah.
If he does nothing else, he's gonna get his buckets. Usually in a loss.
He's hurt. Did you see he has to wear that like back thing?
Yeah. So I was hoping he'd be fully healthy this year. But it
When is
doesn't
he,
really
though?
seem like that's gonna be the case.
He's always
Because I know last year he was dealing with something. How do you all
Yeah.
feel about the Bucks 2 games into their season?
I think they'll
I'm
be
not
fine.
I'm not worried about the Hawks loss. Like,
Because I'm not
worried.
either, but they really didn't look as dominant as I thought they were gonna look.
They did in the first game.
Yeah,
In that
I think
first game
it's
though,
just
looking at
there's
Giannis, I don't know. I don't think
Giannis was being
Giannis was Giannis in
stupid.
that
I
first
don't
game.
think Giannis was
Giannis
trying.
Giannis should have drove a lot more. In the first game, he was just
Taking middies.
settling a little bit. But in that second game, they're still figuring it out. Like Dame
Had like what?
Dame's
Dame
not
has
gonna
off
play like that
nights
again.
every once in
Yeah.
a while.
Because what did he end up? Didn't he end up
6
only scoring
points.
like? Ugh. Yeah, that is not good.
The issue I think is that sometimes Dame's off nights in Milwaukee might look a little worse than in Portland. Because in Milwaukee, if he's having an off night, he's going to defer to everyone else. In Portland, if he had an off night, he was either going to still put up 30 on terrible efficiencies, or he would just start. Like he always had the ball in his hands. Like he would just start kicking it out and getting assists and stuff, and still put up like 20 on bad efficiencies because he always had the ball. In Milwaukee, he might let Giannis take it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I think Giannis probably wasn't being super aggressive early because, I mean, they're still in the feeling out phase of their union. And
What do you think of Giannis saying it's Dame's team?
I thought he was joking, but then that first game happened, and I'm like, is he joking?
Hmm.
Because he definitely let Dame do a lot more that first game.
I think it's smart to let Dame be the one to like if you let Dame think it's his team where he gets to go out there and shoot in the first quarter. And if he's hot, you just let him keep going. But if it's not one of those nights where he's going to drop 50 or something, then Giannis can start taking up a little bit more of the offensive load.
Yeah, because I mean that's probably if you're a Bucks fan, that's probably how you want the team to go, is have Lillard basically be the offense and Giannis be the defense. And then if Lillard's slacking off a little, then Giannis can do Giannis things. But it
Mhm.
is kind of wild that he's young. He has a chance to be one of the greatest of all time, and he's in the middle of his prime. And he's like, nah, this is Dame's team.
I think he's just being
It's
humble.
like an old man.
I think I don't know. He's just kind of goofy goober.
We do need the Bucks, I think, to win the title this year so that Giannis has to rap on Dame's next album like he said he would.
Nah, I want. I don't know. I just feel like I'm feeling the Celtics. I like parity. I like teams that haven't won before.
We need the Bucks
Haven't won
Warriors
before.
finals so we can have Dame versus CP3, the ringless guards.
No, because that means one of them are getting a ring.
I would love to see
Dame
either
can
of those
get-
dudes get a ring.
You know, Dame ain't gonna win it because Steph Curry's his dad.
Tucker, do you have a rebuttal, or is this the truth?
I mean, every time that we've played them in the playoffs, Steph has absolutely destroyed us.
That'd be the ultimate test if Dame had Giannis with him and Steph still fathered him.
You see him
Fair-
last
Mom would
night
be
against
Giannis's
Dylan
daddy.
Brooks.
Oh
He
my
was
god,
making that mean mugging face. I'm like, this is not Steph. I know.
he absolutely cooked him on that one play.
Yeah.
Bro, I loved his reaction after too. He's like the Home Alone kid.
Does
Here's-
anyone like Dylan Brooks? Because Wembanyama was bodying him too.
I don't think they do.
Do you think you know how we're like fans of random players? Like for me, Torrey Craig and Obi Toppin. Do you think they're like hardcore Dylan Brooks fans? Like, is there a Dylan
There
Brooks
are.
muse on Twitter?
Yes, there is.
Oh, how? Like, how
He's
could you
famous.
like him?
I don't.
Before the last
Like-
2 years, he was at least like a pretty good NBA player. And
He was just a
Like
shot
my
chucker.
random player is Jabari Walker because he plays really hard and plays defense. But when you say that about Dylan Brooks because he plays defense, he's just a jerk. Like Jabari Walker's nice.
well, it's like the same thing about Pat Bev. People like Pat Bev, but Pat Bev's a dick.
He's
Like, I
he's
feel
got
like it's
redeeming
different,
qualities
'cause
though.
Pat Bev, he
Yeah.
kind of just seems like it's in good fun. With Dylan Brooks, it's like I don't know.
The
I
only
think
thing
what
about-
killed me with Dylan Brooks is that when he was getting cooked in the Lakers series, he
That's what I
like
was bringing
stops
up.
talking.
He's a pouty pooper.
But Pat Bev does not stop talking.
I was
No.
like, so what if the Lakers blew me out? I could beat him in a street fight. I see him in the woods, like, oh, you know, okay, like when he's been talking about Siakam, he's like, Siakam don't want that dog, and I'm like, he brings a knife, like, I'm not even scared of him. Like, he see him in an alley, nah. I'm like, what are you talking about, Pat Bev?
No, it's weird.
Like if you're gonna be that type of player though, you have to like fully commit to the bit. You can't be
Yeah.
like Dylan Brooks and just be like, no, I'm not gonna do my media runs after losing to the Lakers. Like that's who you are at that point.
You know what kind of hurt my heart recently in one of these games?
Hmm.
Watching Chris Duarte play on the Kings. It just don't feel
Ugh.
right to me.
What, seeing him on the court?
Well, he's
He was
actually
having a
playing pretty
rough
well.
game against the Warriors.
I don't know. I watched him last night against the Lakers, and he played pretty well.
That's good.
Eye test wise. It's just being weird. Like, I'm not saying like it wasn't the right move to get rid of him or anything. Like, yeah, we need to get rid of him. It's just weird because like I liked him for a while when he was here. I didn't want to keep him. I was trying to get rid of him, but I still
Do you
have
guys
the
think-
photo of them.
You're never gonna look good when you're guarding Steph.
Do you guys
True.
think this could be Luca's MVP season? I'm just looking at his stats right now. 41, 11 and a half, 8.5.
They win, sure. If not, Jason Tatum.
The season ended today. I would give it to Luca,
Cam
but there's
Thomas.
still a lot of basketball left, and who knows if the Mavericks are gonna be able to
He's
keep this
got
up.
Derek Lively. He can throw him lobs.
I'm so glad Derek Lively ended up being good.
I was wrong about him in our like rookie preview. I thought he'd be good, but I didn't think he was gonna be like the starter after game one.
Didn't he start game one?
No, he didn't.
Mm-mm.
He should have.
No, he just
but
got
He didn't.
he started the second half.
Because he started in the preseason. That's why I was asking.
Because
Yeah,
everyone
no, they-
expected him to, and then he didn't.
JaVale McGee's been very good too. I don't know if you've been watching the Kings. I guess I just watch the Kings now. They're still really fun to watch. Them and OKC have been like my league pass teams so far this year.
The Kings are always nice because once all the basketball's over, you can just kind of hang out in the evening, and there's always a Kings game on.
Yes.
I
Kings
love
are the
hearing when they were
Warriors.
beating the Lakers, the entire stadium just chanting "Light the beam."
I felt bad for De'Aaron though. Like that looked rough. That
I feel
he
bad for
landed
my
on his
fantasy
ankle.
team. What'd they say he's going to be out for maybe a month-ish?
I didn't think they gave a timetable. But he looks
Because I
really
got that
good.
fantasy report.
I was gonna
It
say
Speaking
was
of
like, yeah, he might
fantasy,
be out for a little bit.
I finally won a fantasy football
it's
game.
Sabonis' team. Yeah, you beat your team.
It
You
really
beat
is your
Tucker-
team now.
Yeah, you
I
beat
know.
Tucker's team.
I'm on track to actually put up the most points of anyone this week, and I'm so happy.
I'm proud of you, Tucker.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
By the
Jackson.
way,
Bro,
are we
I
gonna
was
talk about-
after the trade, they said Brock Purdy was going into concussion protocol, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, but I knew that running back could be good if he played, but a lot
We're
of
gonna talk about
circumstances
how
had to
Bryce
happen.
won his game in
Yeah.
fantasy basketball. I'm proud of him.
I'm proud of Bryce.
Attaboy.
For the viewers at home, that's my little brother who does not know anything about basketball.
You
I
drafted
want to
him
know,
tomorrow.
baby. I
Yeah,
advised
he's a
him.
beast.
I did tell him to drop Bol though.
He's
Ball.
listening, right?
It's very sad.
He's not a subscriber. Do you think any of the undefeated teams are going to lose tonight?
Well, the Pacers aren't.
Pacers
Here's a better
play-
question: do you think any of the defeated teams are going to win tonight?
I honestly think
Blazers aren't.
I think
think Grizzlies maybe?
I think Orlando might lose. I think LeBron's not going to lose back-to-back games.
Yeah, because the Lakers
Is
have let
LeBron
some good
is
teams
LeBron
beat him.
playing tonight?
I don't know why he wouldn't.
He's day to
It's
day.
just it's a back to back. Like that's why we're sitting Rob Will.
Yeah, but he lost last night. I could see him being like, "We got to win a game."
He's a game time decision.
Mm.
And then the Mavericks play the Grizzlies, and that'd be a very on-brand Mavericks thing to do to lose to the Grizzlies. But Kyrie's not playing, so they might be really good. And then the Nuggets, they're playing the Jazz. I think that's an easy win. But then again, Bucks just lost to the Hawks.
And the Nuggets lost to the Jazz last year,
And then the
like the
Pelicans.
first week of the season.
Pelicans are playing the Warriors. I think the Warriors could take it off that. And then we play the Bulls. And then the Celtics play the Wizards. I don't think the Celtics are losing to the Wizards.
Yeah, I don't know. If there's a baddie courtside.
Let me see where they're at.
If they're in DC, then I don't know that they're winning that.
If they're in, well, there's no baddies in Boston either.
Boston. I don't know. There might be a couple Boston baddies. No DC baddies though.
LeBron is probable, though.
Besides Michelle Obama.
Cody, how do you tell which one's the home team? Is it the first team?
Peyton, that is a man.
The
Then it-
second.
Is the second team? So Celtics at Wizards. There, yeah, it's at the Wizards.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah,
in
they're cooked then.
Washington.
Oh, and Daniel Gafford's out. It's over.
Yeah, Porzingis gonna have like a 40-40 game.
I was talking about this with Cody, but on the Celtics, because they're probably going to be the best team in the league. Do we think that Jaylen Brown is going to be the second All-Star or Porzingis?
Porzingis.
Pingus.
Because I
All the way.
definitely feel like it's him. Because especially after game one, Jaylen Brown didn't look great. And
He
now that
still don't look
Porzingis
good.
is in the offense, it can't really be the Jays just taking turns on offense.
It's the whole thing about them being too similar. Now they have a all-star level player that does something different. So it's easier for him to be the second option versus Jaylen Brown doing the same exact thing as Jason Tatum.
I think Porzingis also has like a little bit of the story, like to
Peyton
get some more
Pritchard,
votes.
actually.
Because Porzingis is also going to get you boards and blocks.
Charlotte's
Mhm.
been pretty good too. Not like good, but good for Charlotte.
Exactly. Like before the season, I was saying like LaMelo's back, they're healthy-ish. Like they're not going to be a 15-win team.
They still could be. But Brandon Miller's just looked better than I thought he would. They
I
benched
think
him for the
him
first
coming
game.
off the bench is
I don't like
helping
that.
him. He gets to play against the second stringers.
He needs to start, bro. He's one of their best players. And PJ Washington's been really good.
Yeah, he's been balling.
Super
bass. Boom boom.
I know Cody's probably gonna want to leave in a minute to go watch basketball. So do we want to do a quick Tucker's trade talk?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Gotta.
All right. I have quite the trade for you today. Jeremy Grant for anything.
If I were the Blazers, I'd do it, but I don't know about it if I was the other team.
Yeah. Maybe like for James Harden. Then you could just buy him out.
We'll give
That's true.
you
We ain't giving you anything.
I don't want
We
Jeremy
have
Grant.
14 players that I like.
Yeah, I don't.
Daniel Tice was funny.
Oh, I thought you were saying you. Okay.
As it stands right now, after watching the 3 games, I don't think anyone's gonna want him for that money.
I'd rather have Goga. I still.
Or the
that's not
Magic,
even
I'd
a
rather
diss.
have Coke.
I love Goga. Oh, my boy Bruce Brown came up as he's wearing a cowboy outfit.
He's a cowboy.
Again?
No, but this time he has clothes
Do you
on.
have clothes on? Okay.
Yeah, it's just a cowboy hat, and it's like what you said your fit should have been last night. We were at the gym.
Mm.
Cody, you're gonna show up like this.
You know, I am impressed. The Blazers sold out their home game.
Everyone was excited to see how it would go. Not great, as you.
What is this thing you sent
see.
on Twitter, Peyton? I didn't see this.
Why are the NBA Brazil teams wildin'?
Who's
Did you
kissing on
see
it?
that? Did you the Timberwolves?
No, the
Yes.
Suns too.
Here, wait.
The Suns
Here, Tucker,
too?
I'm going to send you what the Suns just posted.
Oh God, the
But the
Timberwolves thing
Timberwolves
made
one
me
was
feel
Crazy.
violated.
This is 2 players kissing. It's
I
Luca
just
and
sent
D
it
Book
to
making
you.
out.
No,
Yeah.
no, there's
It's
no way.
Suns Brazil. Something's
Official
in
Twitter.
the water over there. Why would...
And they're verified. This is a real. What the heck?
I hate it because it looks like Walmart versions of Booker and Luca. It's like
That's the
Luca
problem you
looks
have
more
with it?
German.
Why is
Oh,
an
here's
official
another one,
team
Peyton.
posted
Peyton,
stuff
I got
like
another
that?
one. Here's Golden State Warriors Brazil.
What?
What is happening? It's a fish deep throating a slug or something.
What is happening? Do you see that the actual Wolves account responded to it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It
They
was
were
funny.
not condoning that account.
They had. You think somebody hacked like all the Brazil accounts? Like somebody.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's
It's-
real.
It's got to be like fake accounts, right?
Well, they're verified. It's not even they
Yeah.
bought it. It's real verification.
Real verification.
It's not
They have,
Twitter
like-
blue.
50,000 followers.
I think it's real.
They must have discovered AI and been like, dude.
It's wild.
Okay, I think that Suns account is fake.
The Timberwolves one, I don't
They
think
joined
was
in
the-
March of 2017, though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real.
So maybe they're
It's-
not.
It's real, Peyton.
I
The
think-
one I looked
I
at.
think-
It said
I think they're
verified,
real.
verified.
Oh my god. Yeah,
This-
what? No, this is a real account. 'Cause
It's
They have
Elon's Twitter.
66,000 posts.
Elon's Twitter.
Ugh. What has happened to the Twitter I love and also hate?
Anyway, well, we'll see you guys next time, guys. See you later, guys, and gals. See you later. Bye.
Bye.